believe getting in nature is critical. I think a lot of us in America have lost connection with nature. And I believe that also connects us with God. I know I go for a walk every morning, even though we do a lot of physical work on this property. I go for a walk and I go up a pretty steep embankment, but I do it every morning. It's my time. A lot of times I'll listen to a Christian message or a podcast, and then for part of it, I actually turn it off and I talk with God, I pray with God, and it's just, and we're in nature all the time, but just that moment of walking for, I mean, it's only about 20, 30 minutes, but it just kind of helps me reset in the mornings. And gardening, and I know not everybody likes to garden. I really enjoy it. Ben enjoys it. I love watching the plant. I love taking care of the plant and watching what I have tended to grow and thrive, and then be able to watch it produce so that it can feed us and take care of our family. As Ben said, I love gardening. I encourage everyone to actually get a garden, even if it's a small garden. And I'll actually put a picture up. We had a really small garden in Gilbert. It was really small, and I'll put a picture up here for you so you can see it. I mean, we've definitely upgraded here. But it was just, it was just going out, having tomatoes and strawberries and peppers and beans. And we didn't grow a lot of beans there. We did really well with the tomatoes and the peppers and the strawberries. We did really well.
But not any in any quantity that we could can up or anything. I'm chuckling because our garden out here is probably bigger than the lot we had, the entire lot in Gilbert.
Absolutely. We had a small yard, but it's just, I love to garden, and I love knowing that I'm growing things that, number one, are better for my health. They're better for my family's health. We don't use chemicals, and that I was able to grow and take care of. And nutrition is a huge part of that. Get in nature, but watch your diet. I mean, I have to be critical about this. Diet, I have seen so many of my loved ones, they have horrible diets, and they're unhealthy. And unfortunately, and I understand for some, it can be easier. Sometimes it's difficult for them to prepare food, but diet is critical, and I see this a lot with our charity. We have a youth mental health charity, and I have a lot of parents that come to me and their kids are on Monster energy drinks and Taco Bell and McDonald's and Burger King and
just all
sugar,
kinds of
sugar.
Processed foods.
Yeah, Doritos and all of this. And look, I understand. Occasionally go through fast food, get a burger. Like one of my favorite, I love burgers, and I miss In-N-Out. In-N-Out, oh my, we used to go to In-N-Out occasionally. It's a great burger, great fast food restaurant in the West. So occasionally you go through fast food, like I understand that, but they are showing, there's so many studies out there now that are saying like vitamin D, a good, high quality vitamin D, a high quality fish oil can reduce anxiety, can reduce depression, can reduce manic episodes in those with bipolar disorder. So nutrition is absolutely critical to living a good life and being out, because if you're struggling to eat well and you're struggling to get out and do any kind of physical activity, you're not going to feel well. And there's a lot of goals that you might not be able to meet. So I believe diet, nutrition, exercise are really critical to thriving. I think you have to get physical activity and you have to be careful of your diet.
Yeah, and we do occasionally. I mean, yesterday we got fast food. We had a lot of running around to do. By the way, Sonic up the road here is paying $20 an hour and up.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, our fast food. Now we do go to Chick-fil-A once a month. We love Chick-fil-A, and their lemonade is so good.
Yeah, there's far worse fast foods out there, but we very rarely do that.
Yeah, we do it about once a month. We go get fast food about once a month because we really enjoy Chick-fil-A, really enjoy their lemonade. So I understand going out and treating yourself. And like, I love to bake. I haven't been able to bake because of the RV, but I bake and we enjoy, cakes and other desserts. So you don't have to always deprive yourself, but make sure that 95% of your diet is good, wholesome food and not processed and not sugar.
You're going through fast food or ordering fast food out of habit.
Yeah.
Try to break the habit,
Yeah.
And just like we've said, you don't have to go and buy a year's worth of food stores or whatever, buy one extra bag of beans when you're at the store. Or rice, or we've talked about those. We were talking about setting money aside. Maybe you can't pull $300 out of your next paycheck. Pull $20 out. Pull $20 out of the next one. Just keep building up a little at a time. if you're eating fast food 6 days a week, try only eating it 5 days a week, and then get in the habit of cooking for yourself. And I love leftovers, so eat those leftovers. But and wean yourself back if you can. Just
Yeah, Ben used to drink a ton of soda.
yeah,
You haven't had a soda in how long?
weeks.
Yeah.
No.
So just like I said, I know you hear it a lot. I just, I struggle with a chronic illness. I don't talk about it much, but I do struggle with a chronic illness. And I can tell you that I'm doing a lot better, and I'm doing better because of supplements. And our diet wasn't bad in Phoenix,
No.
but we try to eat wholesome foods. We try not to eat processed foods. Sometimes it's hard with the RV, but I feel so much better when we're eating healthy and getting the physical exercise. Like it's night and day.
Yeah.
So
She was telling me there's a doctor that was talking about your butt muscles.
Oh,
It's
yes,
apparently-
yeah.
Well,
I don't remember. He was an
I know. We could go this way, then we go this way with the video, but this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I don't remember the name of it, but he was an orthopedic surgeon, and he said he kept seeing the people that worked in an office that went home, that sat in a chair all day. They went home, sat in their chair all day, kind of watched TV and didn't really get up and walk or exercise. There is, and I cannot remember the name, but there is a condition where your butt muscles start to deteriorate, and it causes pain and makes it so you can't walk, and your legs are really weak. But yeah, there's literally because you're not moving, because you're not active, your butt muscles literally start to deteriorate.
FAS, right? Flat ass syndrome. But just real quick, a thought I had. I didn't even know if you know this, but she was talking about connecting with nature and walking up. Back years ago, when I first started with this company and started working in the office, as strange as it sounds, when I would walk from the car into the office, I mean, it was all concrete, in the office all 10 hours a day, and before I was even out of there. But I would intentionally walk through the rocks where the trees were planted, just to have some kind of touch and connection with nature and not just the concrete jungle. It sounds weird, but I just it was just kind of weird. And I would every day when I would step on those rocks, I'd be like, well, here's my last connection with nature until half a day from now. Just it was important to me. It seems weird, but
No, nature's important. I think we've really lost connection in this country, and I really think that's a lot of the issue with our a lot of our mental health. I think it's really affected our mental health. I think it really causes a lot of stress. So I really think it's critical to get in nature, at least a few minutes a day, And not to mention, we need sun. We're always slathering ourselves up with sunblock, and I'm not saying, I put sunblock on my face every day, but we have to get 15 minutes of sunlight. That's how we make vitamin D, and vitamin D is another big issue for people in America. Majority of Americans are low on vitamin D because we're not getting out, we're not getting that sunshine.
And especially in Arizona, of all places, because people they run from the office into the car, into the store,
Yeah.
into the car, back into the house, because it's just blistering hot. So
Yeah.
they don't actually get the sun that's
Even in the
surrounding them.
wintertime, they don't, though. Even
Yeah.
though it's nice in the
That's
winter. And then, like Ben was talking about, find something you're passionate about. Find a hobby that you enjoy. A lot of people cannot just quit their jobs. It's very difficult, and it's a difficult decision to even quit your job. But at least find something that you're passionate about. Find a hobby that you enjoy doing, and do that. And if you can include your family, even better. But give yourself some kind of joy and something to look forward to with that hobby. Like I know Ben really enjoys woodworking, and I know once he's able to leave the job full time, he'll be doing a lot more of that. But he enjoys gardening, but he also enjoys woodworking and working with his hands.
Yeah, and there's a few things around here that need to be done too with the woodworking.
Just a few things.
Just a few
things.
For my birthday, going almost a year now ago now.
Oh yes.
Denise got me a planer, and you and your dad and
Larry.
I think, anyway, they all went in and got me a planer. It's still in the box. I have not even been able to get it out, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
When we can get some of our belongings out of the shop into here, then I can spread my things out and actually see what tools I have, what I need, where I need them, and anyway.
It'll be a lot better.
It'll be so much better.
Yeah, and one thing I think is important, volunteer.
Yeah.
Right? Volunteer your time. God calls us to do things for others. God calls us to sacrifice for others. He gave us the ultimate example when he washed his disciples' feet. And for those of you that don't know, they wore sandals a lot. Israel's not necessarily a cold climate. And everything was dirt. So feet got absolutely filthy, disgusting. And think of yourself like the last time, visualize somebody that has the nastiest, cracked, dirty, awful feet, right? Just think of that for a moment. And, and just think about all the dirt that's on them. Well, back then, they would have, like, the lowliest of servants would wash your feet. And Jesus was like, no, I'm going to give this example because this is kind of the ultimate way that I can show you how you are supposed to be with each other. I know that's a very simplified version, but I want you to think about that. Like, I don't think we really think about what Jesus did, right? That example that Jesus did of washing his disciples' feet, and what a momentous thing that was. And especially because we don't have servants like that, right? We don't understand a lot of what ancient Israel went through, and a lot of what happened in the Bible. We have a different culture. It doesn't relate to us. Right. But it was like the lowliest servant. The feet would have been absolutely filthy, and he took it upon himself. God took it upon himself to wash their feet. So he's given us an example, and I believe wholeheartedly that in order to thrive, you need to also be doing something for others. So and again, you have a hobby that you're passionate about, find a cause that you're passionate about. I know, like Billy and Michelle do, and I believe William do, Vets for Child Rescue. That's something they're very passionate about. There's a lot of people that are trying to get, I know, I can't remember the name of the charity, but Awaken with JP was doing something to help with sex trafficking. Yeah. I know that's been a passion for his. So think of something, whether it's Sunday school, helping at, with animals, working at Humane Society. Just do something. A lot of churches need a lot of help. And even if you've got an elderly neighbor that needs help, go over, maybe do some yard work for them, maybe go in and do some cleaning in their house if you don't have a lot of time. Just serve others, find some way to serve others. I think it will go a long way to actually helping you feel and find some joy.
Well, that's it. If you feel better about yourself. I mean, one of the things we organized with the Gym Foundation, we went in and volunteered at Feed My Starving Children. Mm-hmm. We spent a couple hours, packed up a bunch of meals. I mean, in those hours, oh boy, I think we packed, with everybody there, we packed like, I don't know, 2,000 meals or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of kids out there that had a meal for a day or two, and it's good for the soul.
Yes. Yes. So, turn off the news.
Yeah, I'll take this one. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she's been gone a year now, but she would sit with the news on and sit, not much further than us, and just stare at it. And then she would just worry and worry and worry. And
how many times did she call you? Are you okay, Benjamin? She used to call him Benjamin. I mean, terrified because of something she saw on the news.
Yeah, something about, worry herself to death about my job. Is your job safe? And she would drive my mom bananas calling up, well, did you see what they're doing in, the Middle East, or, just every little thing, And to her credit, at her age, everybody from her generation was gone. A lot of people from the next generation were gone. She didn't have a lot of friends, and so she would tune in to the news, and that was her whole outlook to the whole world. And so, depending on what news station you tend to watch, you only get one side of it, and that's what she would only get the one side of it. But she would just worry herself to pieces and turn off the news. I mean, we really don't watch news. We have there's a couple of YouTube channels that give a synopsis of what's going on.
Well, and I do get alerts in my inbox about specific things.
Right.
I do, yeah. So I do try to keep up with what's going on. For me, I feel it's important that I at least am educated, especially when it comes to election season. I want to be aware of who's voted for what's happened, who's been, because politicians, as far as I'm concerned, they're all corrupt. Yeah. But so we do watch the news, but it's not the center of our life.
Right. Yeah, yes. We don't watch it from beginning to end. We
get updates, and yes.
Yeah, if anything critical is going on, we want to know about it, because it's just you need to know, but don't spend your life revolved around just that. And
even like COVID, right? Like And no, I'm not going to go into all that, but just the news, right? Every day when COVID first started, death tolls on the screen.
Yeah.
Right? They've never done that before. No. Not unless there's been like some kind of major earthquake or, but to every single day, a death toll, or how many of those were hospitalized. And it was like, that's horrible. Right? So that's not good. That's not good. So it's just not good for the soul. So I believe in being informed. I believe in being able to make educated decisions based on, basically evaluate, say that 3 times fast, evaluate based on what is happening, make educated decisions, not panic, so that we can choose, which direction we're going, but it doesn't run our lives. And again, that's faith comes in, right? Because all of all the news stations, they're there to make money. So they're going to sensationalize everything.
Keep you tuning in.
Exactly. So again, we've got faith. We know that God our Father is in control. We know where we're going. We know this is temporary. We know even if we have struggles that he's still there walking with us. He promises that. So just turn off the news. Yes, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, and I think we already hit this, but get off the couch. And I'm not trying to be mean, but get off the couch.
Yeah, don't suffer from flat ass syndrome.
Yes.
Get up and move, walk. Take your dog would love you if you would go take him for a walk. Put him on a leash, go for a walk around the block. If you're in Arizona in the heat, their pads are just as sensitive as your hands. So if it's too cold or too hot for your hands, put boots on them or wait till the sun goes down, whatever it is. But anyway.
Yeah, we used to wait till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night in the summer.
And even then it was still hot, but
Yeah.
go along the green belt so they can run around the grass. But yeah, get out and walk around, and if that's too hard, walk down to the mailbox and walk back. The next day, go to the house beyond the mailbox and walk back. Work your way up to where you're walking around the block. I mean, just
get off the couch. Do something.
Just like all of it, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, $1 at a time, one extra bag of beans at a time.
And for some people, you might have there might be a disability that you're dealing with. You might be in a chair, so it's not like you can just get up and go when you want to. But if you can have somebody help you, say, hey, can we just go for a quick walk and get out, do some kind of physical activity, whatever that looks like for you. Do something and just be active in some way.
Breathe the free air.
Right.
Breathe the free air again, my friend.
Yes, we're huge sci-fi fantasy geeks.
Lord of the Rings.
If you didn't know already.
Right.
All right, and
I'm
then
not wearing a Star Wars t-shirt today.
And another one of my favorite verses is Philippians 4:6-9. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. What you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you. So this is another just about trying to hold on to the peace that is God. And a lot of times when you're feeling anxious, when you're struggling, when you're panicking, when you're seeing all the craziness of the world, just go back and, it can be, God, please just give me your peace. Help me to feel you. Help me to feel your presence. It's really easy to get so caught up in every day that we forget, God doesn't shout at us, right? God whispers, and he whispers softly. We have to, he says, be still, know that I am God. And sometimes it just takes a moment of you being still, praying, asking for his peace, asking for that peace that surpasses all understanding, and just listening for him. And sometimes if you need to scream. So sometimes you have to.
But I've heard a lot of people, and I'm not good at praying out loud, and I hear people say, I don't know how to pray. Talk to him like he's your friend. God's there. He's always there. He's always listening. Just tell him what's on your heart, what's bothering you, what you're worried about, and ask for his peace. He's there. He's listening.
Yeah, he loves us as his children. So remember that God loves you. He's also God. It's like, he could blink and, erase us from existence. That's the power that God has. But he loved us so much that he sent his son, right? He died a humiliating death for us. And, he knows our troubles. He knows our troubles. So like Ben said, if you just talk with him and say, hey, I need some help, or I need your peace, he's there. He knows. He knows. So, and I know we've gone a little long.
Or a lot long.
But just kind of, one more thing I think we need to talk. And we touched on this on another video, but I think it's important to set goals, not just dreams.
Yeah.
So, do you want to take that, or?
Don't remember exactly what specifically we were talking about.
Well, we were just talking, so dreams are good. Dreams can help us, aspire to something greater. They can help us, have something to look forward to. But if all it stays is a dream, then you're probably never going to achieve that dream. So for us, we had a dream of homesteading. We were passing legislation in Arizona that took 4 years. And we knew once that was done, and we didn't know that it passed March 3rd of 2020, literally a week before session stopped and Arizona closed down because of the pandemic.
One of 3 bills that passed that year.
Yeah, one of 3 bills. So we were very fortunate that it passed in 2020, but we didn't know, and we were prepared. We were going to stay till it passed, but we were watching a lot of YouTube videos. We were doing a lot of research, and I'm going to tell you, we knew it was going to be hard work. That didn't surprise us, but it's very different in reality from watching YouTube videos. But we were trying to do everything we could to learn more about gardening, learn more about what we could about small engine repair. Ben already had woodworking, learned what we needed to know, like composting. What is compost? How do we compost? And thankfully, we got a lot of help from Billy and William about composting.
A lot of help.
Yes, so they've been huge. They've been doing this for years, and obviously we're new to this, but we tried to learn some things ahead of time, and then we set goals. We knew where we wanted to be. We had come out to Western North Carolina a couple of times. We had both been to this area, well, not to the mountains, but we had both been to North Carolina and Virginia before. So we knew this was the area that we wanted to go, but we did consider Kentucky. We did consider Virginia. We had considered the Ozarks. This felt like home. It really did. We, as Billy says, we get to wake up to paradise every single day. And I say, I tell Ben all the time that we literally get to wake up to a postcard every day. So we just love it here. So we had goals,
Smoky
right?
Mountain, the fog roller coaster.
So beautiful.
Our mountain.
Yes, it's so beautiful. But, set those things. Okay, so like for us, we knew, okay, we're going to have to sell this house. And, what is the price range that we're looking at? What's the amount of acreage that we can afford? As we talked about before, what were the things that were important? Water was number one. Water was number one. Usable land was number 2. We wanted to make sure that we could get livestock. We had to have space for a garden. There had to be sun. And that was something, talk to your spouse about, because I didn't even think about the sun, right? And Ben's like, we need sun for the garden. I'm like, oh, yeah.
That sounds like a duh thing.
Right, but yeah.
But as you drive through the mountains, there are a lot of narrow valleys where you'll see the house here, and you'll see a garden way on down below, like a very narrow garden right alongside of the road, because that's the only sunlight that area gets during the day. Mm-hmm. That's not enough hardly to grow a garden, and we wanted to make sure that we weren't on I guess it would be the north side of the mountain, so we'd be on the shady side. We can see here, just as an example, the folks up, you go down the road and then straight up, where the folks that live over there, they'll have snow on their hillside a week after ours is gone because they don't get the sunlight over there. So, things like that. And, we did everything we could to mentally prepare, but then also, we're still in Arizona going, okay, we know what kind of a property we want. We know the area that we want. Wait a minute, how are we going to get there? We've got 3 dogs. We've got 2 cats. We can't really, a house full of stuff.
We got rid of a lot of it.
We got rid of a lot of stuff, but at the same time, we didn't have a house that we bought that we had seen to come move to, so we couldn't hire a trucking company to come in, load it up, bring it out for us.
Not that we wanted to spend that money.
No,
anyways,
but
yeah.
so how do we had to map that out too. It's like, well, the thing that makes the most sense is we buy a used RV, make sure it's sound. And
a very used RV.
that is a whole different story.
Oh gosh, yes.
Whole different miserable story.
Oh my God! Something did not want us to leave Arizona.
That is an RV from hell. Care to join me?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I don't. Yeah.
We'll have to tell you that story
it's
sometime.
a wonder we got here, but we had the pods moved out here, and I mean, we're still not in the house. Had we not built the shop when we got here, we would still have those pods sitting out there costing
$800 a month.
$800 a month.
Way more than
what we saved. What we saved in pod storage by building that shop, the shop's pretty well paid for itself. I mean, it's trying to look 3 steps ahead if you can. So
yeah, you can't always, because
No.
as Ben will show you, there's he always says there's a hole in the bucket,
dear lies.
right? It's like we start one thing, this project's got to be done. It's like right now we've had a week's worth of rain, which is kind of, I mean, we love rain and it's good for the mountain, but we've seen a lot of other water issues that we knew we had some water issues, but now we've seen some other areas that we have to shore up, which is good. We know that now, but it's always something. You start to do one thing, and then all of a sudden you've got 3 other things that creep up because you started this one thing, and that's homesteading, right? That's you've got to be prepared for it and just kind of roll with it. But it's just, and that was the one thing with us. Like we each, like I do more with the animals. That's kind of Ben does more with a lot more of the woodworking, the physical stuff. I do what I can. I mean, I think I actually,
She hauled just as much drywall as I did. I mean,
So, well, you and William, Michelle and I did a lot of the 8-foot. You guys did the 12-foots.
doesn't matter. It's still the sheet count. She carried just as much as I did. So, yeah,
But he can do woodworking. He's stronger than I am. There are things that he can do that I can't do or that I don't know how to do, and vice versa, right? There are things that I do better than he does or that I'm experienced with that he's not, and that's kind of the beauty of marriage, right? Is that we complement each other, and we rely on each other. But that's where it's good, to rely on your spouse and talk with your spouse and map things out with your spouse, because you each are going to have gifts. You're each going to have abilities that the other doesn't have, and it complements each other. That's kind of the beauty of marriage.
And it doesn't hurt that she's beautiful.
No.
But you've got to be flexible to do this kind of thing. I mean, I went out.
I think that's life, right? Though flexible. I think that's.
Yeah, I think, as Billy would say, that's on a homestead. It's on steroids, because I won't go out to help you with the food forest, get on the tractor and buzz the hydraulic line.
After we had just gotten it back, was it 2 weeks after we'd gotten it back?
It was the 3rd time I'd fired it up.
Yeah.
I mean.
Thankfully, it's an easy fix.
It's an easy fix, but I had to order the parts, and I've had the hoses here for a week now. I have not had the time to do it. We had to get everything out of here so the drywallers could get in. We had to haul the drywall in. I mean, it's just, there's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, and there's just not enough hours in the day, and that's why you see me running from here to the shop and the shop to here.
Would you have it any different?
I wouldn't have it any different. The only thing I would change is to have the family out here.
Yes,
our kids
absolutely.
and mom soon.
And to have raised our kids homesteading.
Oh yeah,
I would have loved to have raised our kids homesteading. So
okay,
but,
I don't know if you know this, but old windows, glass actually melts. It's superheated sand, and over time the glass will melt and sag. And I'm sitting here and I keep thinking I'm seeing something moving up on the hillside. And it's just that when I shift to the side a little bit, there's a ripple in the glass, so it looks like the tree. There's something moving behind the tree. Now, we do have Sasquatch out here.
Sasquatch?
That's right, sir. A Bigfoot.
we do not.
Well, according to the previous owner, they used to look in the window, and this house had four surveillance cameras on the corners.
She was so scared.
We've
of
told them
Bigfoot.
about this, but she
was terrified. I mean, I feel bad for the poor thing.
But yeah, so we've got Bigfoot out there apparently, which we got a new trail cam.
Yes, we did. We're going to show you some of the wildlife that's.
We haven't even checked on it. It's been out there for a week. We haven't even got up to check the cam.
We'll get there. Once the house is done, once we have the fencing done, and we can focus on the sawmill, I think things will calm down a little. I mean, we'll still be busy, but I think the big things will come down a little. So I have faith.
And back to the whole point of this, we keep praying.
Yes, but we just, and I know this has gone really long. Sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry. If they haven't tuned out by now.
But we just, these were things that have helped us, especially there's a lot that we've learned through the mental health charity. And we just wanted to pass some things on. These can be very scary times, but like I said, when are we not in a crisis? I mean, seriously, with our governments, and I'm talking about the West, right? It's been a mess for years. And we just wanted you to think of some things that you can do that will help you not just survive, but thrive and enjoy life. And, and I hope that you can do that. I hope that you can get to a point where you're really passionate about what you're doing, or you're really enjoying the life that God has blessed you with. And I know it's not always easy. Trust me, I get it. It is not always easy.
And change can be scary, but don't fear it. I mean, I never moved more than, I think, 10 miles from my previous address in Arizona, and then we up and moved 2,000 miles. And I guess at my age it didn't scare me. I mean, but again, the only reason I don't like being here is that the kids aren't here, and I can't wait for them to come out and visit and hopefully move out at some point. But
my brother will be here in June.
That's right. But I'm very excited about that too. But don't live your life in fear either. Like my son Alec, he moved from Phoenix to Austin, checked it out for a while, then he moved to Reno, and not quite sure if that's where he wants to be. He's in Vegas right now, but he thinks he might go back to Austin. But he's young, and he's
looking at business opportunities.
Yeah, and I call him Mr. Midas. He will push the right button at the right time, and things just really work for him.
Yep.
But
yeah.
But I'm just saying, don't be afraid of change. If you're in a job that you just hate, Sonic, $20 plus an hour. I mean, good grief.
I know.
I mean,
I worked at McDonald's when I was 14 and a half. I think I made $3.50 an hour of that. So
it's the $2.85 I was making at Dairy Queen.
Right. But yeah, we hope you got something out of this.
At least a laugh.
At least a laugh. And then we are keynote speakers on March 3rd for Arizona School Counselors Association. So if you could please pray, for us, that we will be able to,
we need to touch some hearts.
We need to touch some hearts. We do, and we want to make sure that we are articulating our position. And so if you could just please pray for us that will go well, that would be really appreciated.
That's Thursday.
Yeah.
And then later Thursday, we've got a few plants to pick up.
Yes, we do.
So you'll be seeing a lot of planting going on again. Well, there's the city of Crazyville. Asheville, same difference. They have plants for everyone, and really inexpensive plants, bare roots and things like that.
But he loves to order. And I did order a lot too, I have to admit.
But it's stuff that we wanted to try. I mean, we've got the whole row of food forest of things that we wanted to try out there, and different kinds of berries and all kinds of stuff that we wanted to try. So, hey, maybe it's really good that we've had a lot of rain right now. The ground will be a little bit softer. We'll be able to dig in and get it in there. But
that's true.
I guess one other. I mean, we're pretty much wrapped up with. Mm-hmm. Okay. A side note, you saw the video. We got our chicks in. We lost 12.
Yeah.
We ordered these from Murray McMurray, and I've got to tell you, I'm not sure I want to order from them again. I mean,
last year they got here a lot faster.
They got here a lot faster, and we lost two or three.
I think 3 total last year.
We've lost half. We've lost 12 of our chicks this year. They were in the mail for 72 hours.
No, more than 72 hours. They mailed.
That's right.
Yeah, they mailed them Tuesday, and they mailed them Tuesday morning. I understand we didn't get them until Friday, 8:30.
That's unacceptable. I mean, they'll refund our money. I'm not worried about that. I just feel bad for these poor little chicks. I mean, 2 were dead when they got here, and it's very sad. But at the same time, we had some of our chicks hatch out. Actually, almost all of them hatched out. We've got 4 duck eggs in there, 4 or 5.
Yeah, we haven't had the duck eggs.
The duck eggs haven't,
but the chickens have.
The chickens have, and the ducks aren't due to start hatching until tomorrow or Tuesday. So, that's exciting. sad but exciting, and
Yeah, but we were really disappointed that they took so long to get here, because I really think had they been here Wednesday or Thursday, we would not have lost as many as we have. So we're just, and last year I think they took 2 days to get here. We ended up losing 3. Both times we lost their mystery chick.
yeah, the mystery chick.
Both
So we
times.
don't even know what we got. But
No, so it's been disappointing, but
Well,
you know,
like I said,
everybody else looks really strong and really healthy. So
Yeah.
fingers. And our chicks that we've hatched, I think we've hatched 6 or 7. 7. So, and they're all doing really
and
well.
one's pecking through right now. That's
Yeah.
the last of the chicken, and then the ducks will be coming.
No, we have 2 more chickens if they hatch.
I don't know. I've lost count. But
We put them in there to see if they'd hatch.
yeah. Well, we're really hoping the ducks do, because they're cute and there's a market for those guys, so we can
Yep.
sell them off to new homes. And
Yes.
hopefully soon the guineas will be laying eggs, because I'd like to just have a whole new flock of those guys.
But we'll be selling guineas too. So
Yes.
yes. But yeah, but I think it's just.
We're learning a lot. We're learning faster than I think we can even absorb it, is almost what it comes down to.
Experience is the greatest teacher.
It is.
Experience and mistakes. And I'll say, don't be afraid of mistakes, because I think you learn more from mistakes than you do successes. So
absolutely.
don't be afraid of making mistakes. So when you're looking at change, go for it. Don't be afraid of it, because you know what? Unless you're a heart surgeon, right? Unless you're a surgeon and you make a mistake, that's pretty serious. But for most people, we make a mistake, we can fix it.
That's right. Well, heart surgery can just throw an extra stitch in there and they're good, but no.
No. Apparently, you've never been a heart surgeon.
I was in a previous life.
No, you were not.
I went to a psych medium, and I was the firsthand,
No, he did not.
the right hand surgeon of Julius Caesar himself.
I didn't know they had surgeons during that.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he did.
He did.
He had a heart surgeon, and
No, he was just quite the operator.
on that note.
Anyway, yes. So, yeah.
So I guess the question is, are you comfortably numb?
Have become comfortably numb.
That is a good question. And if you are, what are you doing about it?
Yes.
So, get those pets spayed and neutered. All right, everybody. Thanks for putting up with us. Hope you got something out of this. And as always, be good to yourself. Be good to each other. God bless, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.